Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In this video I will be talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened yesterday. Kirby and the Forgotten World is the first thing I want to talk about. It's quite interesting now that Kirby can run around wherever he wants. This is a new take on the Kirby franchise compared to the older 2D titles, the 2D platformers specifically. These 2D platformers were very samey, and up until this game, it's all been 2D platformers. But now, we have a 3D environment. You can run around, do whatever you want. The power-ups look like they're gonna make this world so much more fun to explore. I'm hoping, we didn't see it in the trailer specifically, but I'm kind of hoping there's someone or some power up specifically where you can run around at a higher speed or have jump boost. Something similar to Super Mario's Superstar, but without the invincibility. It just gives you more speed essentially. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the Super Smash Bros. Direct, which will be held on the 5th of October 2021. Now this is quite exciting as it's going to not only reveal the final Smash character, but immediately how you play that character, which is going to be quite interesting as we will see how people are going to play, and I'm going to guess that the character is also going to come out either that day or a couple days later, which would be pretty exciting. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is the new Nintendo Switch Online membership that will allow you to play N64 and Sega Genesis games. This is quite exciting, seeing as you can now play games like Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64 on your Nintendo Switch. While Super Mario 64 has been re-released in the Super Mario 3D All-Stars pack, most games, like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, have not been released on a console since the 3DS. So this is quite exciting that you can now play them on your Nintendo Switch with enhanced graphics. These games are going to run a lot smoother on the Nintendo Switch, judging as it does have beefier hardware and is more modern. So that will allow the games to run much smoother on your Nintendo Switch, rather than having any issues the N64 might have had. Along with N64, there was the announcement of Sega Genesis games coming to the Nintendo Online service, which is quite exciting because Sega Genesis games haven't really been released that much on modern consoles, seeing as most of them were more obscure titles, and no one would really pay a modern price of video games to get the games such as Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles. No one would spend the money to get those games. But with these games being bundled in with the N64, they have a much higher chance of success, as most people are going to be upgrading their Nintendo Switch Online service to include N64 games just to play them on a graphically enhanced console, which is quite exciting. The next thing that I want to talk about is more Splatoon 3 news, specifically the announcement of the story mode name being called Return of the Mammalians. It looks incredibly interesting and like it's going to be incredibly fun to play through. We also saw some more gameplay footage of Turf Wars in Splatoon 3. We got a little bit in the first Splatoon 3 announcement trailer, but this one shows more of the specials. I saw a grappling hook, a crab-type tank that I assume is going to be similar to like the Burst Bomb in the first game. It just looks incredibly fun, and I will be picking the game up on launch day. The last thing that I want to talk about is Bayonetta 3. The announcement trailer had a little bit of gameplay footage mixed with some of the CGI cutscenes that are either going to be in the game or were just used for the trailer. The game looks like it's going to be very interesting to play. I have not played Bayonetta 1 or 2, but this game does look like it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm especially excited to see how this is going to enhance gameplay for the Nintendo Switch, and if it will change anything as opposed to how Bayonetta 2 did it on the Switch. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Blade of the TheHiddenBlade channel, and we have been talking about Nintendo news. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll try and make another news update within 1 or 2 weeks. So bye!